of 1990. Good evening, friends, family, faculty, fellow graduates. As we gather here for the last time as Hillsborough High's class of 1990, we would like to thank God and those who have made this memorable experience possible. First, to those members of the faculty who took the time to give extra help to their students, or gave caring advice, or constructively criticized our work without destroying our confidence, we thank you for making us believe we could succeed. Secondly, we thank our friends for providing us with all the great times and memories that were gained and can never be replaced. Without them, we can never look back at the good old days and smile. And last but not least, we would like to acknowledge our parents for their enduring encouragement, love, and understanding. They taught us how to make decisions and gave us support and lifelong values to follow. However, this ceremony does not signify the end. Although the past holds many memories and is now gone, the future holds many surprises and hopes that can be looked forward to with confidence that we are prepared with the best possible tools to be a success. So we ask God to give our class, the class of 90, all of his blessings to make us the best individuals we possibly can be. Amen.
Bombarded with literature and famous lines. One by Paul Roche stands out in my mind. Human greatness consists ultimately in nobly accepting the responsibility of being what we are. As graduating seniors, we've seen greatness, attempted greatness, and have yet to achieve a higher level of greatness. Greatness was seeing the bus coming down the hill for our first day at kindergarten. It was getting on the bus alone, being a big kid going to school. Greatness was 6th grade with kids we never met before, lifetime friends, and most importantly, our very own locker. And greatness was our infamous first crush, the nervousness, the butterflies, the sweaty palms. It was all worth it. Greatness was getting our driver's license, our independence, although we may have failed the test the first time. And the ultimate greatness is now, standing here waiting to receive our diploma and achieving what we worked so hard for. Although a major portion of our education is over and we are heading off into different directions, there is one thing to remember: the best is yet to come. Our greatness does not stop here in high school. It continues as long as we search for it. Each of us has the potential, the drive for success to get what we want out of life. No matter what road we choose, which direction we take, greatness will always lie ahead. Although there will be hard times, struggles, and disappointments, the future is ours. We're about to go forward, seeking our own greatness, our own success, based on what our family, friends, and teachers have shown us. Perhaps Ralph Waldo Emerson said it best when he commented, "To know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived, this is to have succeeded." Thank you, Mom and Dad.
Four years ago, our class began high school in the middle school. The class's impressive spirit made the freshman semi-formal dance a night to remember. While Stairway to Heaven and pizza was a long way from the prom, the evening was a wonderful one. Trips to the Phillies games began our freshman year, and they continue now and have become a tradition. Continued success enhanced our sophomore year, our first year up here at the high school. We won many Spirit events, and I think everyone up here would agree with me that Spirit Night was fixed that year, and Gumby will always have a place close to our hearts. Junior year was exciting in its own way. Our class was the first junior class to score against the seniors in a powder puff game, and possibly the biggest step for a teen, other than tonight, was getting a driver's license. Faraway places got a little bit closer, and our parents worried just a little bit more. This year, I think, though, topped it off almost perfectly. We won Spirit Night with a whole lot of creativity, a little bit of daring, and the spirit our class is so well known for. Everything came together, though, during our trip to Florida. Old friendships were strengthened and new ones were created. Words can't describe how wonderful the trip was. These memories are ours and ours to keep. Each person here will take away a different set of memories, but there will be a common theme: the teachers of this school, especially Miss Eberhardt and Mr. Weidlich, who have made this senior year so enjoyable. But also our other class advisors the past 3 years, our coaches, all of our teachers, and the administration deserve special credit for their huge role in making the people we are today. They have helped us grow and helped us succeed, and we cannot thank them enough. Unfortunately, our faculty and administration took a hard blow in April's election. The public told our teachers that they agree with an individual who said that teaching was just a part-time job. The public told our teachers that they agree with another individual who said that teachers are in a profession for bored housewives. When the role of the Board of Education becomes slashing AP courses, limiting computer education, and canceling middle school athletics, and insulting our teachers who have done so much for us, all in the name of saving money, there's time to make the change. This class has benefited from uncompromised support of an enthusiastic Board of Education and a faculty who has pushed for excellence. The voting public made a mistake in April, but we can learn from it. Concerned voters must ensure potential candidates that short-sighted anti-education platforms are absolutely unacceptable, and responsible, pro-education individuals will be elected. Next time, please vote on behalf of our teachers who have done so much for us, and vote for people who are genuinely concerned for the community and not just their pocketbooks. Thanks. Ladies and gentlemen of the faculty and administration, we thank you for all your help in creating our high school memories. I hope that you will continue to strive for excellence and not accept the current trend of mediocrity. So I'm presenting this gift of an outdoor table and chairs on behalf of the senior class of 1990. I hope that each time you see it, you will remember how highly your students value you as a person and value your contribution to our lives. Thank you again for your time, your commitment, your thoughtfulness, and all the memories.
Obviously, there must have been a mix-up at the hospital. I reasoned wisely at the age of 8. You see, I knew I was Princess Leia of Star Wars fame. I needed to be fighting the evil Empire and Darth Vader with the other rebels. I knew I had to get back to my galaxy. But no matter how much I played with my Star Wars action figures or dueled my brother with our battery-operated lightsabers, I didn't become Princess Leia and return to the magical land of Star Wars. I eventually realized that I never would. Growing up requires the acceptance of such limitations. In fact, probably everyone here tonight could relate an anecdote similar to mine. Of course, we must recognize some limitations. Just looking in the mirror, we see that we are flesh and blood, we're human, we will die. Some of us have. For our own safety, our parents taught us to look both ways before crossing the street, and not to take candy from strangers. These limitations are important to know. But others aren't so beneficial. We must fight limitations based on our sex, our intelligence, and our age. What we perceive as limitations must not be merely someone else's dictate. Because if we just accept another's command, we're imposing that limitation on ourselves. Now is the time to prepare for these daily battles against limitations, to educate ourselves and to discover our own capabilities. High school provided a framework. Now we need to fortify our walls, whether it be through college or employment or whatever else gives our lives purpose. Growing up does require the acceptance of some limitations, but I think perhaps it also involves determining which limitations we can overcome. As children, we could do anything because we didn't know otherwise. But as young adults, we've gained a certain strength and maturity if we recognize something as an obstacle, but overcome it anyway. That's why we have to continue living our lives with purpose. Without it, we stagnate behind obstacles. With it, we can conquer them. Purpose encourages us to set goals, and these goals allow us to recognize limitations for what they are. Roadblocks to our dreams, probably erected by human hands. And if we can see, even a little bit, beyond what we know are limitations toward a goal, we can continue forward, over them, under them, around them, through them. Our education and life experiences in the years past, present, and future represent our battle gear for these confrontations so necessary to our growth. In a way, we're coming full circle. Just as in childhood, we're trying our best to make what may seem impossible possible. I may be Princess Leia yet, or maybe not, but I can't, we can't, let limitations take away our opportunities. We have the power, we have the chance to attain anything. Just by realizing this, we conquer our first limitation. And once we take that first step, we begin the lifelong journey toward our dreams. Thank you.
As I told you this morning, this ceremony is the culmination of 13 years of school. And the high school would certainly like to take credit for what's going on here, but I think everyone here knows that it's a district effort. It started back in kindergarten, through the elementary schools, the middle school, and now the high school. You are here this evening because you've earned it, but you are also here as a result of a great deal of nurturing, threatening, bribing, counseling, pleading, worrying, hoping, and also praying, done by all of the people who are facing you this evening, your parents, your friends, your family, and your teachers. You've reached this plateau in life because of three contributing factors: your home, yourselves, and the faculty. At home, your parents taught you values. They financed your endeavors, some of them very crazy, and they gave you moral and spiritual support. You, the students, you are our finished product. You are why we are here. You've attended school regularly, some more regularly than others. You've worked hard, some harder than others. What you don't realize yet, and you probably won't realize until your late 20s or early 30s, is that you are just completing one of the most fantastic times of your life. You can laugh now. Talk to me in 10 years. And the third key ingredient, the faculty, my colleagues, your mentors, and sometimes your tormentors, the lifeblood of any school. 50-some members of the faculty volunteered to be with you this evening to pay tribute to the class of 1990. They could have been home with their own families. They did not have to be here. These are the people who have worked with you day in and day out. These are the people in August, When your parents are saying to you, I can't wait for you to go back to school, these are the people that were planning activities to keep you busy for 10 months. You know them as competent and dedicated. At this time, I would ask the faculty to please stand and be recognized. We are all very, very proud to be with you this evening. As a class, as a result of scholarships, grants, and awards, you have earned $385,000, and they are purely academic scholarships and awards. You are also very lucky to have a National Merit Scholarship winner among you. And I would ask Leslie Stewart to please stand and be recognized. Tonight I have the privilege of presenting the Hillsborough Community Scholarship. This scholarship started 20 years ago through the community sponsoring a community fair on the highway on the grounds of the Hillsborough School. At present, this scholarship is supported solely by the Hillsborough Women's Club. It is the focus of their fundraising throughout the year. And at this time, I would ask the three recipients to come forward. $750 to Frank Brisky. $750 to Julie Simcoe. And $750 to William Nahila. Dr. Carey, will you please come forward? Dr. Carey, with this letter of transmittal, I attest to the fact that these graduates have met all the requirements of the Hillsborough Township and State Boards of Education.
Thank you, Mr. Rodano. Just a few short weeks ago, while attending a meeting of a public body, I had the discomforting experience of watching firsthand a high school student learn one of life's more difficult lessons. A lesson that we may not prepare you for as well as we would like. And as this young man articulated his personal viewpoint about public education before the selected body, someone, perhaps unintentionally, questioned the integrity of his motives. And as I watched this young man wrestle with one of life's difficult lessons, it came to mind that we spend little time in this business preparing you for those difficult days, for those cloudy days, for those occasions when your most noble intentions and your most charitable actions just don't seem to carry the day. And for those times and for such occasions, I'd like to offer you some very pragmatic advice from an anonymous literary piece entitled Anyway. And I would hope that when you encounter the problems to which I referred earlier as you go through life, it may be some solace. It may cause you some time to reflect upon these words, because those times will happen. And it goes as such, and I quote, "People are unreasonable, illogical, and self-centered. Love them anyway. If you do good, people will accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Do good anyway. If you're successful, you will win false friends and true enemies. Succeed anyway. The good you do today will be forgotten tomorrow. Do good anyway. Honesty and frankness will make you vulnerable. Be honest and be frank anyway. The biggest men with the biggest ideas can be shot down by the smallest men with the smallest minds. Think big anyway. People favor underdogs, and they'll follow the top dogs. Fight for some underdogs anyway. When you spend years building that can be destroyed overnight, build anyway. People really need help, but they may attack you. If you help them, help people anyway. Give the world the best that you have, and you will at times get kicked in the teeth. Give the world the best you've got to give anyway. And with that in mind, I wish you well. I congratulate you. I thank you for making this profession a work of love and joy, and I'm sure your teachers will agree with that. And with that in mind, I present to the board president, Mr. Peter Passy, the class of 1990.
Thank you, Dr. Carey. On behalf of the Board of Education, I humbly accept this class of 1990. I would first like to welcome the family and friends and the community of the class of 1990. I would like to thank our orchestra for the fine music they provided for us. I would like to thank the administration for their hard work on your behalf, and the staff. As you have heard over and over, the most important part of your education. I thank these people for coming out tonight to help us celebrate the accomplishments of the class of 1990. Before we go further, I would like the class to do one thing. As you look around to your family and friends in the community who have sacrificed and laughed and cried with you, I would like you to stand and give them a round of applause. Thank you. It's hot, and believe it or not, I'm going to be brief. Well, you've made it. I'm sure that many of you have looked forward to this day for a number of years. It has taken a lot of hard work to get here. Many of you have already heard the world according to Passy, so I'm not going to bore you with that tonight. But I do have a short story that I'd like to tell you. The year was 1956, and a scrawny little boy of some 5 years old was on his way to his first day of school. He entered a long hallway with his mother at his side, wondering what it was going to be like. As he and his mother arrived at the room, they found a pretty young lady standing at the door. The mother of this young boy asked where the teacher was. And this pretty young lady said, "Why, I am the teacher." And reluctantly, the mother turned over her young son to the teacher for his first day of school. The young boy was terrified. He was insecure, apprehensive, and didn't know what to expect. But that pretty young teacher looked into his eyes, took his hand in hers, and instantly he was reassured that everything would be okay. The scene now is 10 years later. The event is the graduation of junior high school. That scrawny young boy was now a teenager, relaxed, comfortable, and challenging everybody and everything that he came in contact with. And sitting on a makeshift wooden stage in the outdoor basketball court, he watched as the principal, Mr. George Gonzalez, readied the diplomas. His thoughts wandered from the summer ahead to the fall that would bring a new experience in high school. His wandering mind had no room for the words of wisdom being spoken to the class. The year was 1966. The scene now moves to June 19th, 1990. That young boy is now slightly older, slightly overweight, and beginning to gray, and marching in yet another graduation ceremony. He is just as apprehensive as that first day of school in 1956. But he remembers a pretty young lady looking into his eyes and holding his hand, and it reassures him that everything will be all right. He now has the confidence to address the class of 1990. Yeah, that scrawny little boy was me, and that pretty young lady was my kindergarten teacher, Jean Dingy, who was still starting out students in kindergarten in Hillsborough. I'm sure your minds are wandering now, and you may not realize that from this day forward, you will draw from every experience starting with your first day of kindergarten and through the last day of high school. As you go out into the world now, there is one thing that you must do. Hold on to the experiences. Hold on to the memories. Your teachers have opened themselves up to you, offering their experience, their knowledge and wisdom for you to take. You will find that that is a gift more precious than any you will receive. Society measures us by our success. I submit to you that if you leave this world better off than when you entered it, you have truly been a success. On behalf of the Township of Hillsborough, whom you have all time and time again made so proud, let me say thank you and congratulations. Take your gifts out into the world and make it a better place to live. Congratulations, good luck, and may God bless you. Now let the celebration begin.
Row 1, please rise. Eileen Dones.
Stacy Lee Christina Kunz.
Jennifer D. Fine.
Brandy Joy Pantiel.
Kimberly Marie Hulk.
Amy Lauren Skolthorpe.
Lisa Marie Tully.
Lori Ann Tomlinson.
Mary Beth Marie Hawker.
Christine Denise Curitan.
Kelly Lynn Olzik.
Suzanne Evan Heaney.
Kelly Marie During.
Joy Michelle Noblick.
Michelle Lynn Richards.
Rebecca Lynn Colvitis.
Kathleen Hishma.
Daniel J. DeMacy.
Dawn Kokolski.
Ruchi Mather.
Michelle Roberts.
Linda Michelle Horgus.
Tracy Lynn Eddy.
Stephanie Spellman.
Nicole Deshensky.
Leah D. Randolph.
Teresa Novak.
Shannon Lee George.
Ann Wojcik.
Jennifer Lee Thomas.
Pamela Lynn Pollister, who's not with us this evening as she is finishing her senior year in Japan.
Row 1, please be seated.
Row 2, please rise. Sarah Morris.
Janet Lynn Johnson.
Leslie Ruhoy.
Dawn Ann Hunter.
Donna Marie Valicente.
Sarah Lundy Seeger.
Jennifer Lee Lakowitz.
Sarah Michelle Yasner.
April McCon.
Heather Rose Caruso.
Deanne Martin.
Lana Marie Arcidiacono.
Heather Stovekin.
Vanessa Catherine Benatti.
Michelle Ann Vanover.
Jackie Lynn Promaleco.
Shannon Campbell.
Michelle Dawn Dunnington.
Melissa Diane Wilkin.
Amy Patel.
Troy Bussey.
Mark Howe.
Michael Lobianco.
Jason Krevitz.
Andrew Kochar.
Janine Mines.
Michael D. Malandrucco.
Gus Cuco.
Joyce Christine Macon.
Timothy Scott Brown. Row 2, please be seated.
Row 3, please rise. Lawrence James Casilius.
Mark Stephen Leon.
Tanya Michelle Mountain.
Chow Ying Tai.
Charlotte Elizabeth Browning.
Donna Gangerweir.
Elizabeth Ann Roden.
Beth Geider.
Sean A.G. Curry.
Victoria Watkins.
Pierre Jaborska.
Angela Lambie.
Karen Jean Gaffney.
Cheryl Berger.
Lynn Rose Hacker.
Carrie Tinarello.
Timothy R. Waters.
Nikki McEntee.
Daniel Miles Ammons.
Jill Navone.
Thomas L. Kurtz.
Kimberly Giuliano.
Brian Keith Yilley.
Susan Shepard.
Anoop Jalan.
Jennifer Graham.
Peter Wesley Sachs.
Gloria Vivanda.
Ryan Claringbold.
Edward M. Shapley. Row 3, please be seated.
Row 4, please rise. Morgan Pulowski.
Walter Okarowski.
Dave Weintraub.
Marsha Goddard.
Jameson Hawk.
Antoinetta Dontuano.
Gary Parks.
Janet Lynn Sarapata.
Robert Lawrence Turner.
Lauren Ann Crowick.
Scott Sanchovel.
Kristen Michelle Mann.
Leah Mormando.
Ninashka Filomena Santa Cruz.
Mark Wilson.
Julie Lynn Jalaki.
Peter Petrachko.
Kevin Charles Green.
Suzanne Nicole Schmidt.
Melissa Mayride.
Leslie Renee Stewart.
Julie Marie Schultz.
Amy Eileen Coates.
Jody Lynn D. Domenico.
Corey Ali Williams.
Colleen Elizabeth Dayton.
Tureri Anika Gray.
Margaret Torres.
Erica Huggins.
Michelle Mary Berger. Row 4, please be seated.
Row 5, please rise. Oh, no. Keith Matthews.
Christine Bartosi.
Shannon Keith Day.
Scott Hansen.
Ross Malhas.
Mark Cifelli.
John Christopher Palermo.
Mark O'Gurkis.
David Yao.
Donald Bavuso.
Eric Pierce.
Rich Goddard.
Joseph Besido.
J. Harris Polachek.
Bob Jensen.
Kurt Michael Horowitz.
Sean McLaughlin.
Brenda Ann Eberhardt.
Knut Wutke III.
Sharon C.
Bill Nahila.
Mark James Stewart.
Matthew Perkins Danek.
Brian Eric Lewis.
Robert Wade Lydell.
Matthew Robert Rose.
Brian Anthony DeLucia.
Paul David Schiller. Karen Marie McDonald. Row 5, please be seated.
Row 6, please rise. Bradley Shepley.
Michelle Ann Hankins.
Stacy Lynn Hewitt.
Lori Ann Stemmer.
Rob Walsh.
Deanna Marie Weber.
Michael Krachin.
Christina Ray Hall.
Jason Leininger.
Lisa Melody DeHart.
Jeff Trosen.
Robert Mark Fanek.
Frank Brisky.
Jessica A. Jaghab.
Phil Generone. Ryan Rubo.
Kevin Grawley.
Richard C. Albanese.
Drew Bravo.
Paul Edward Stransky.
Jonathan Lapido.
William Vincent Wells.
Sean Parag.
Darren Lott.
James Arndt.
Carl Eisenman.
Christopher Borzik.
Scott Fafaro.
Scott Minio. John Forshofer. Row 6, please be seated.
Row 7, please rise. Robert Meyer.
Sandra Marie Hunt.
Charles Johnson.
Brian Agins.
Craig Turpin.
Steve Johnson.
Got it. Andrew Mangoni.
Carmen Petruzzi.
Jeffrey Losaw.
Eric Joseph Scheckinger.
Robert Maggio.
Thomas Joseph Francis Delasco.
Michael Perhack.
Gerald Phillips DeVille.
Pat Chopay.
Michelle Marie LaRue.
Joel Shanker.
Paul Stephen Homeland.
James Christian Kelly.
Donna G. Marie Baginski.
James Timothy Penn, Jr.
Shelley Bartholomew.
Timothy Mack.
Scott David Curlin.
Thomas Linko.
Neil David Beam. Kevin Scott Halpin. Michael Faherty. Row 7, please be seated.
Row 8, please rise. Stephen Foring.
Tom Yadlon.
Kevin Santanastaso.
Jeffrey Allen Taglerini.
Mark Haas.
Matthew Rothschild.
Ray Horton.
William Wade Wilson.
Tom Zuber.
Christopher Michael Carlucci.
Tommy Hoy.
Scott Michael Stravinsky.
Jonathan Daniel.
Vincent David Spira.
Nikki Lasasso.
Alexander Matthew Marsh.
Mark Moretsky.
Tira Fosbender.
John DeAugusta.
Tammy Lee.
Mark Murtis.
Diana Nicole Villado.
Brian C. Varelli.
Lori Elizabeth Weichel.
Kevin D. Kissling.
Jennifer Gray Sliney.
Andrew Walshak.
Julie Ann Simcoe. J.J. Sheridan. Row 8, please be seated.
Row 9, please rise. Benji Tariq Williams.
Ralph Michael Ferriello.
Jesse Johnson III.
James Geary.
Roderick J. Womack.
Brian Joseph Brownlee. Row 9, please be seated.
Dear Lord, we appreciate the opportunity to be able to celebrate this graduation tonight. On behalf of the graduating class of 1990, I would like to extend our thanks to the faculty, administration, family, and friends for assisting in making this event possible. As we, the class of 1990, venture out into the world, may we achieve the goals and dreams for which we strive for. Even though this is the end of a part of our lives, it opens up a new beginning. Hence, the knowledge and joy brought forth from these past 4 years may be utilized in achieving the goals and dreams which now shape our lives. Congratulations upon reaching this plateau. Good luck in all future endeavors. Farewell, underclass and faculty. Since we are the future of this nation and world, through divine guidance, may we attain the strength to discover our dreams and the ability to apply this strength to conquer our highest expectations. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the class of 1990.